The reason you clicked on this video is because you want to know what it's actually like to own businesses at such a young age, and you want to know what it's actually like, the raw reality of chasing success at a young age. Now, if that's right, then you're in the right place, and just stay tuned to the end because I'm going to speak some value here. So, first things first, if you don't know me, I'm Liam Smith, a 16-year-old entrepreneur about to turn 17, and so far on my organic dropshipping e-commerce journey, I've made a total of about 40,000 in revenue, and most of that consisting of last year's Q4. And that was with one product as well. I did around about, I think it was just below 30,000 with the one product, which was like some amazing numbers, especially for my age. And I just kind of want to talk about, now that I've got like multiple businesses, multiple stores, and I've had so many stores and so many failures and a few successes and stuff like that, I want to talk to you about what the actual raw reality of life is for me. And, you know, if you're getting into business or you're already doing it, you can relate to me, or you can sort of plan ahead and just know what's coming for you if you're just getting started. So, I mean, first things first is that I think a lot of people only focus on the positive aspects, which is great, you know. And what I mean by the positive aspects is like the, you know, all the wins, all the sales, the big sales, all the holidays, stuff like that. And that's great, you know, that's the great side of it. That's kind of the reason we do it. You know, we all have our own reasons to be starting. Me personally, I want to look after my parents, you know, financially care for them, and also be able to travel the world and just have freedom. And you know, you may relate to that, you may have other reasons, but the point is we've all got a reason to be doing it. We've all got a reason to own a business, and the reality is that you can't just focus, or you can't just think about the positive aspects. You've got to understand that you're gonna have to go through negative times, you're gonna have to go through hard times, you know, times that you don't enjoy, times that are gonna be difficult for you. I'm personally, even after winning as such, you know, my main goal was to hit my first 10k profit month. And then obviously I did that just the end of last year. And even now I've hit that goal, you might think, oh yeah, life's so easy now, you know, it's all flashy and stuff. But no, it's actually not. You know, I've got money now, you know, I'll admit it. I'm officially like got 5 figures, but the point is, even though I've got that money, it's not like I'm just going out and spending it. It's not like I'm going out and just being irresponsible, because no matter how irresponsible you feel, I guarantee you that once you've made that money, you're going to mature a lot. So you could literally be any age, and I guarantee you'll mature so much more once you've like generated that kind of money online. That's how I've felt with me anyway. Especially on my journey, like across a few years now. Like I've been doing organic dropshipping for about a year and a half around that time. But before that, I had a clothing brand, and the clothing brand made like no money, except I was doing loads of work but making no money from it. And that kind of built my discipline when it comes to business, which has really helped me out. Obviously through dropshipping, because now if I ever get £0 days, which still happens as well, even after, you know, hitting months like that, I still get that sometimes. And that's just like purely because I need to just, you know, get myself going again. But it just happens, because what you got to understand is that like you might hit your biggest month, you might hit this, you might hit that, but it's not always going to be a straight upward spiral. You know, it's just sometimes you just get a taster of like what success feels like, and it's just this like boost of motivation for you. Like, here's what it's going to feel like. Now you got to work even harder to consist with it. And I feel that's the kind of point I'm at the moment. I'm still making like consistent money and consistent sales, but I definitely haven't hit like a high month, or as high as a month like that I was doing before. But obviously that's what I'm working towards again. And that's just the reality. Like, you know, as I said, it's kind of like this trailer of success you'll get, or what I got anyway. And now I just need to work even harder to be able to consistently do numbers like that. But yeah, like I say, the raw reality is that you can't just focus on the positives. You can't just focus on the end result. Basically, you've got to live it in like the time where you're like, okay, so this is my end result, this is what I want to achieve, but this is what I'm going to have to do to get there. And then you want to be able to enjoy the process of getting there, because that's the biggest thing, right? If you're coming in every day, it's like a 9-to-5 job, right? The reason people become so miserable, the reason, like, you know, you'll have all, like, I mean, you might know some people yourself or anything like that, but the reason why a lot of, like, people in our generation now, adults more specifically, are so like depressed and just sad is because they don't enjoy what they're doing. And if you look at the business aspect in a way a normal person would look at their 9 to 5, then you're not going to enjoy it. And the point is that if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you're not going to be able to succeed with it, because you're just going to be like, okay, well, I've got to get up and I've got to do this today, I've got to do that. And it's like, I don't want to do this today, I don't feel like it. But if you have that mindset, then it's not going to help you out, because I wake up every single day, and even the days that I don't feel like doing it, I'm still going to do it. But the point is that overall, I enjoy the process of building, like making videos, creating videos, editing videos, posting, stuff like that, finding content ideas, building websites, everything that's involved within organic, I enjoy. And it's the same, if you're doing paid or anything like that, just any kind of e-commerce in general, or any business model really, you just need to learn, or at least choose one that you're going to enjoy, because the journey is going to be long. It's not going to be some overnight success story. It's not going to be like something, you're going to just be able to leverage off right away. It's going to take time to learn and then earn from it, but you need to be able to enjoy that whole process in order to make things go smoothly, and just basically to be able to consist with everything. But I think like the main factor is that if you don't enjoy it, then you're just not going to be able to work as hard. And I've found that sometimes, like I've had products within like obviously my business model that I've just thought, I don't like filming for this product isn't great, and then it's made me make my videos weren't as good, or I've just not stayed as consistent with the product when it could have done well. And that's like the same applies to the business model. Like, if you do the task and you're like, I hate this, I don't want to try, then it's just going to be so hard to be able to put in the work that needs to be done to be able to succeed with it. So I mean, yeah, if you're truly like interested in business, then you need to be able to figure out what are you actually going to enjoy, and what are you going to choose to do. But I mean, the whole part of business is staying consistent. I've lived by this since like a young age. I've said the story a few times on this channel actually, but I started my whole journey with like self-improvement and fitness, and obviously I've still stayed consistent with the gym and everything, and just stuff like that. And that was just kind of the start of my journey. But the whole thing I've always lived by is consistency is key, because that is what has took me from like being like really, really skinny at the start. And then I built some muscle, got a good physique. And then alongside that, I've been like building businesses and stuff. And the point is, the reason that I've been able to build those businesses, build that good physique, is because I've been consistent. I've been pushing through every single day, and I've stayed on top of the game no matter what. And I mean, the most like the best combo to have in business mindset wise is consistency and discipline. And I mean, consistency isn't a combo, isn't like a mindset thing, but being consistent and like being able to stay consistent is like a superpower. And pairing that with like discipline, which is basically the same thing, linking them together, it's like you're unstoppable. You can do anything you want whenever you want and be able to achieve crazy things. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of the raw reality. But I mean, if I look more into like more of a personal side of raw reality, like very recently I've literally been getting like hardly any sleep, and you're gonna have to understand that you're gonna go through times as well that are gonna be much more stressful than others, and vice versa. Sometimes might be a lot better than others and a lot less stressful, but to get to those less stressful times, you're gonna have to go through stressful times. And I think in reality, if you're not stressed out right now within business, then you're probably not working hard enough, or you're not putting your all in to it, because stress is kind of this aspect that comes in to life, and you can't really avoid it unless obviously you're just not doing anything. But that's not ideal, because then you're not going to be achieving anything from not doing anything. But yeah, I mean, if I was being honest with you, the real reality is you're going to have to be strong-minded, and this is something you can work on alongside obviously starting a business. But you just need to know what you're getting into, really, because use this video as like your little diary here, because you don't want to be like coming into the business game thinking, yeah, let's make, let's just go ahead and make like 7 figures really quickly. It's going to take a while. And especially if you're younger like me, I mean, automatically, like if you're, I don't know, above 20, there's a likely chance you've got more life experience and can therefore have a bit more sense when it comes to business. But if you're like me and you started a business at like 14, and now obviously I'm nearly 17, but you started a business at 14, you can imagine a 14-year-old has no idea what they're doing. And I can tell you, I definitely didn't have any idea what I was doing. And I mean, over the 2 years, I've just like learned from failures and just kept trying and trying and trying. And I've learned a lot of new things, but it's not like I know everything now. In fact, there's a lot that I don't know, and that I'm still working on. But I've got time to learn it, and that's the whole point, really. Everything is learning. It's a learning phase, and every new product I test, every new, angle of video, every new like win, every new failure, it comes with a lesson to be learned, and it's just something part of the process, really. But eventually, I know that I will be able to build this sort of like flurry of lessons learned and have the perfect solution to like basically all the problems I come across. And that's when real success is reached, when you've like learned your lessons, and then you've used the learning to start earning, basically. But yeah, if you want to like get into a business, you want to start a business, it's going to be tiring, it's going to be stressful, and you just need to understand this factor of things. But yeah, as I say, like, I'm literally going to bed at like 1, 2 a.m. But that's another important thing to factor in, is that like the real workers out here, the real like people in this space, just the business space in general, have like a rule which I've found amongst like a few people, is where they're like, yeah, the work stops, or no, sorry, like you go to sleep or you stop working when the work is done. And that's what I live by. So, last night, for example, I'm filming at like, I don't know, like 1:30 in the morning, which isn't ideal. My routine's kind of messed up at the moment. I'm not going to lie, my sleep schedule and everything. There is no sleep schedule. But what you got to understand is that if these people are out here and they're saying, I'm going to work until the work is done, or I'm going to stay up and, get everyththing done. If you're competing with people like that and you're not, putting in the work and living by their rules, then do you really think you can beat them, out-compete them? The only way of doing that is obviously working smarter, not harder. But again, it's going to take a lot of lessons. It's going to take a lot of learning to get to that point. So just be prepared. Like, if you've got a business already, or if you're about to start one, whether you're a beginner, you're a bit more intermediate, or you're just generally not even started yet, just be prepared and sort of take some things from this video to be able to know what's coming for you. Because you don't want to go in it and think, okay, this is gonna be easy, this is gonna be like, a few weeks time I'm gonna be living it up in Dubai and stuff like that. Just have a strong mindset, but obviously don't have this like expectation that everything's just gonna go your way straight away. Because the problem with when you think like that, and it's honestly happened to me as well multiple times before, with like, if I really, really get confident about product, if it doesn't work out like that, you just end up going down this rabbit hole of like negativity and lack of motivation. And it obviously the same applies to the life, really. If you have this like full-on expectation that you're just gonna put a bit of work into something, then a few weeks time it's gonna be paying out like crazy, it's just not how it works. And I said it in one of my other videos as well before, you got to compare the learning phase of business to that of a doctor, right? If you wanted to become a doctor, or you wanted to become someone or something in a role that takes, learning and education and grades, stuff like that, university, to be able to become, you got to imagine, right, that these people are learning and going to like these schools and getting these certificates and what have you for like 5+ years, like some even longer, some are there for like 10 years, stuff like that. You imagine, right, if you've not even started a business yet, or you've been doing business for like a year, or maybe even the same as me, like a year and a half, it takes them 5 years just to get onto a salary basis. Whereas you can imagine in a year and a half time, what I've learned, what I've been able to do, what money I've been able to generate. You imagine 5 years time from now, or not even 5 years from now, but like 3.5 years from now, you imagine like where you could be at and where I can be at, and where we can be at, like in just, even though 5 years sounds like a lot, you just got to think like that's what other people have to do to be able to reach success in their role, in their position. So why not us? Why don't we spend the time building a business and learning things, even though it might be a lot harder and a lot more stressful, the reward's going to be a lot higher, and it always is, because even the skills you learn during the time are going to just be so much more valuable than anything else. You know, any piece of paper that tells people, you know, this is what I am, this is what I'm qualified for. If you know how to create viral videos, you know how to create good ads, you know how to build good websites, you know how to find good products, you pair all these things together, and it's like impossible to not make money, because, you know, if you can identify a good product, you can build a good website for it, and then you can make good ads that bring attention to it. You know, put all of that together, it's, you know, it's simple, really. But it's obviously not simple, but it sounds simple. And that's kind of the whole raw reality, to be honest. I think if I had one more word of advice to you, it'd just be get started right away if you haven't already, because I learn from failures, I learn from experience, and if I had to tell you a way to learn, I'd just say get started and start doing things, because if you just start doing things, you'll force yourself to find a way around it. I've done it many times, you can do it, and obviously if there's anything more specific you want to know, just like comment on this video and I can make a video about it. I've recently made a video reviewing a whole this guy's like organic dropshipping accounts, websites, stuff like that, and he literally just sent me an Instagram DM. So again, if you want to like contact me, just send me an Instagram DM. But yeah, that's kind of the whole video there. So thank you for watching. I hope you took some value from this video. I hope you know, got a bit more of an insight of the raw reality of business for a young entrepreneur. And yeah, this is your sign to get started. This is your sign to keep going if you're already started. But thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.